Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video is going to be a bit more serious because somebody under one of my videos, we had like a long reply of comment chains that I had with this one person who said the most awful takes ever. He had harmful stereotypes about women and defended ICE. If you don't know what ICE is, it is U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And this video is going to be a lot more serious, a lot less satire. We're going to be talking about how ICE is not positive in any sort of way. We're just going to first start off by the mistreatments of ICE. I'm currently doing research as we speak for this. There has been reports of violent assaults. Detainees have reported being beaten, slammed, and stomped by staff, with some incidents involving severe injuries requiring hospitalization. And you say we live in a free country. Dude, open your fucking eyes. Also, reports indicate rampant sexual assault and harassment, including incidents in which staff forced detainees into sexual acts. These are all alleged cases about ICE immigration, and this is all just from 2025 to 2026. Use of excessive force. In one instance, a detainee was reportedly choked to death by an ICE officer during a struggle, and the death was ruled a homicide by a medical examiner. Guys, what in the hell are we doing saying, don't smear ICE's name? I will smear ICE's name all I fucking want. Guess what? It's America, bitch. Right to freedom of speech. Brutal tactics. Reports document guards using violent methods such as crushing a detainee's testicles or using flashbang grenades in confined spaces against people who were already restrained or protesting conditions. Do you hear yourself when you're saying, don't smear ICE's name, don't smear ICE's name? I will smear it all I goddamn want. Denial, medical neglect, and substandard care. Preventable deaths. 2025 saw the highest number of deaths in ICE custody in over 20 years, with reports suggesting many were preventable due to medical neglect. Denial of care. Detainees report extreme delays in accessing medical professional, denial of necessary medications, and inadequate care for chronic illness. Mistreatment of pregnant women. Reports highlight pregnant individuals being shackled, denied prenatal care, and in some cases forced to sleep on floors in overcrowded cells. Are we serious? Lack of mental health care. Individuals with disabilities and mental health conditions are often denied proper care, and in some cases have reported being subjected and humiliated, unnecessary and barbaric practices. So they're not just... So what some people think is happening with ICE is that they're just taking illegal immigrants and shipping them out of the country. Here's another. Inhumane conditions due to process violations, extreme overcrowding and filth. Facilities have been described as filthy with overflowing toilets, lack of access to showers, and inadequate food and water. Long-term solitary confinement. Use of solitary confinement has increased, particularly in individuals who report abuse. Basically saying that they're trying to silence people who have reported abuse by putting them in solitary confinement. Restriction of legal counsel. Detainees face significant hurdles in reaching attorneys with limited phone access, lack of privacy, and restricted visits. Pretty sure that's literally a constitutional right of an attorney, right of a solicitor. Increased detention and escalating tactics. Expansion of capacity. Despite reports of abuse, detention population has surged to record levels, with many facilities operating over their design capacity. Secret police tactics. Reports of masked ICE agents conducting arrests while using vile racial slurs have emerged, along with incidents of violence against protesters. Protesters, people. Use of private facilities. ICE continues to heavily rely on private for-profit contractors even after audits uncovered violations of federal standards. These reports indicate that abuses are systemic and often occur with little to no accountability. Notes the ACLU and other human rights organizations. Okay, that's just one source, and I do not know how reliable this source is. Actually, I'm going to look at the sources that were used. .gov, .org, .org, .net, .org. Yeah, all of the sources that were used in that little blurb about the mistreatments conducted by immigrations and custom enforcement are all reliable sources. How you can spot a reliable source is .edu, .gov, and .org. Try to avoid .net and .com. All of those sources were reliable sources. And obviously, some sources aren't going to be the most reliable. Okay, ICE arrest worst of... Okay, now let's see what the actual government is trying to tell us. Oh, the government is saying that ICE only arrests the worst criminal illegal aliens, including pedophile, rapists, and violent assailants. It was either last week or 2 weeks ago in which ICE kidnapped a 5-year-old boy named Liam. A 5-year-old. Nobody knows if he's going to be returned. Kids at school are wondering where Liam is. And obviously, they're only going to show you the arrests that are showing that these are bad. Okay, what about the 5-year-old little boy who is kidnapped? Huh? What about that? What about that? Huh? What about that? What the government says, what Homeland Security says, is Washington U.S. Immigration and Customs Service Enforcement, ICE, today announced the arrests of worst criminal aliens. These criminal illegal aliens have rap sheets including sexual abuse of minor, rape, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Does that sound like the 5-year-old little boy you kidnapped and his father? Huh? Tell me that. Tell me about that. Tell me about that. Oh, here, let's have actual... This is WOLA, Washington Office of Latin Americans, I believe. Yes. This week in brief. 3 deaths in 2 months at Fort Bliss facility, including a homicide. 3 detained immigrants died in the space of 44 days in a tent facility at Fort Bliss. Second deaths, yeah, include a homicide. Secret ICE memo purports to allow warrantless, forcible entry of homes. Warrantless, forcible entry of homes. Okay. Warrantless rumors are swirling of infighting at DHS. Oh, record pace of deaths nationwide. Across the United States, at least 30 people died in ICE detention centers during the 2025 calendar year. The most in more than 20 years. Just think about that. Okay? When you say don't smear ICE's name, think about what you're saying online and in comment sections. when you defend these types of people. Okay? Okay? Why do I look so... Ugh. Anyways, oh, medical funding halted. This is gonna be interesting. On October 3rd, ICE halted payments to contractors providing medical care in its detention facilities and is unlikely to resume those payments until the end of April, even as the size of nationwide detention population continues to break records. ICE's failure to pay its bills for months has caused some medical providers to deny services to ICE detainees. A Trump administration source told Jude I don't know how to pronounce that dude's last name. Oh. Yeah. Here's a source you want to hear. ICE detained population stood at 68,990 people on January 3rd, up from and that is an increase of 39,152 a year earlier. Silky Saw of Detention Watch reported the current population at over 73,000 in a January 2020 column. This isn't what America stands for. Okay, let's learn about the 5-year-old boy and father detained by ICE. Oh, they finally got released. That's good. A 5-year-old boy and his father, who were detained by Immigration and Customs Service Enforcement in Minnesota, have returned home. A congressman has said Texas... yeah. Liam is now home with his hat and his backpack. Yeah. ICE. Oh, and of course, obviously, the Department of Homeland Security. ICE did not target arrest for a child. What? Because, Department of Homeland Security, DHS, was claiming that they only arrest pedophiles, rapists, and violent crime offenders. What did the 5-year-old boy do? Why did you detain him? ICE did not target or arrest a child. Then what about the 5-year-old? They did not arrest a child. They did not detain a child. And how come there was reports of a 5-year-old boy who went missing because you kidnapped him? Okay. Yeah, let's see. Hold up. I'm actively doing research as we speak. If my laptop's gonna be up to speed. Let's see how many people died due to ICE just in 2025. Total deaths reported 31. Separate from the 31 in ICE detention, other deaths occurred in border patrol custody, including suicide in Arizona. ICE is driving people to kill themselves. Okay, let's just... Yeah. Oh, one sane person in this entire story is the judge of Minnesota. Judge orders release of 5-year-old Liam Ramos and father from ICE detention. Because I just cannot fathom the thought of... Oh, France's Capgemini to sell subsidiary working with ICE during anger at U.S. immigration crackdown. French MPs demanding explanation for Overtext firm contract. For Overtext firms' contract to help ICE in the U.S. We're fighting for the soul of the country. Yeah, Minnesota is going through it, and I feel so bad for them. ICE Minnesota. Specifically Minneapolis. Okay, there's one judge in Minnesota that I would like to insult. Judge denies Minnesota's request to halt immigration operation. After ICE shot an innocent woman, who, to the people who only support ICE because they're racist, they shot one of your own if you care. For those white supremacists, this is God's country, only white men are real people. They shot one of your own. They shot an innocent white woman just in her car. So if you care to know, Minnesota is fighting against ICE. Yeah, also ICE is authorized to carry guns and firearms. Here is a quote from a congresswoman. Using ICE agents to kill people in the streets is fascism. That comes from Congresswoman Emily Randall for Washington 6th. So, congrats, Emily. You were on my list of good people. I'm not very good at technology, so in this video, I don't know if I can link below the sources I used, but they are all .gov, .edu, and .org websites, so they are all valid, trustworthy websites. But please just contact your local, there are scripts online to contact your local government about the defunding of ICE. And for those who, again, if you didn't hear me say it a billion times in this video, ICE stands for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and is being used for basically systemic racism. And according to Homeland Security, they're only arresting the worst of the worst. And according to them, they did not detain a 5-year-old boy. They did not detain a child and his father, who was innocent. Keep that in mind when you're voting for your next president. Please just stay safe out there. Know your rights. There's many sources online. I will actually read hold up, let me read you guys your rights. Okay. Hold up. Know your rights if you encounter ICE. That is a new saying that we've had to come up with. Okay? 1. Create a safety plan. Identify your emergency contacts and memorize their phone numbers. Provide your child's school or daycare with an emergency contact to pick up your child. Provide authorization in writing for your emergency contact to take medical and legal decisions for your child. Tell your loved ones that if you are detained by ICE, they can try to use ICE's online detainee locator to find you. Defend your rights. All persons in the United States have constitutional protections, including the right to remain silent when questioned or arrested by immigration officers. Being stopped by immigration officers or other law enforcement can be frightening, but it is important to stay calm. During any encounter with law enforcement, it is important to do the following. Stay calm. Do not run, argue, or resist. Resist or fight the officer, even if you believe your rights are being violated or you are being treated unfairly. Keep your hands where police can see them, and tell them if you need to reach into the glove compartment for your wallet, or for your wallet to show your papers. Don't lie about your status or provide false documents. If you're pulled over in a traffic stop, ask if the officer is from the police department or immigration. Immigration officers often identify themselves as police, but they are not police. Ask if they are from Immigrations and Customs Enforcement or Customs and Border Patrol. If they are immigration officers, follow these guidelines about what information to provide. If you are a U.S. citizen or have lawful immigration status, show your passport, legal permanent resident card, work permit, or other documentation of your status. If you are over the age of 18, you should carry your papers with you at all times. If you are undocumented, you have the right to remain silent. Do not have to discuss your immigration or citizenship status with the police, immigration agents, or other officials. Anything you tell an officer can be later used against you in immigration court. If an officer knocks on your door, do not open the door. Teach your children not to open the door. Officers must have a warrant signed by a judge to enter your home. ICE warrants are not signed by judges. They are ICE formed signed by ICE officers, and they do not have grant authority to enter your home without consent of occupants. So if an ICE agent shows up on your door with an ICE warrant, they are not actual warrants. And if it's signed, if the name on the bottom, if you search up that name on the bottom and it isn't a registered judge, do not open the door. You do not have the right to open the door, and you can make them wait at the door while you do your research. If you are indoors and you think you see immigration officers nearby, if you are outdoors and you think you see immigration officers nearby, move to safe indoor space. If you are a U.S. citizen and you feel safe to do so, record the activity with your phone or write down any relevant information about what you witness. Always being careful not to interfere or otherwise obstruct the operation. Do not post unverified information on social media. Interfere with the investigation or otherwise put yourself in harm's way. Now, I'm going to do my best to show you what an ICE administration warrant looks like and what an actual judicial warrant looks like. Okay? If it will load. This is what an ICE warrant looks like. This is not a real warrant, and you do not have to open the door if you see something that looks like this. Please take a screenshot of this right now so that you know what to look for. Okay? This is not an actual arrest warrant. This is not signed by a judge. If it says U.S. Department of Homeland Security, this is an actual judicial warrant. This is what you should look for. If it does not look like this, you do not have to open the door. You do not have to tell them anything. You do not have to go with them because because if it doesn't look like this, it is not an actual arrest warrant. Okay? It has to say magistrate judge on the bottom. Okay? If it does not say that, you do not have to open the door. Please read your rights. And there are here. I'm going to read out the 24-hour emergency support. There's 1-855 help my family, which the actual number for that is 1-855 435 7693. There are many different sources you can use. This video is purely educational and to tell you that racism, homophobia, transphobia, anything that discriminates people is not. I do not. So here's all of my opinions. Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. Actually, triple fuck ICE, because tearing people's families apart and killing people just last year they killed 31 people. There was 31 deaths in detention centers, along with multiple suicides. Fuck AI. AI takes people's jobs away. It takes away from artists, even musical artists. So fuck AI. Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. Fuck AI. What else should we hate on? Oh, fuck racism. Fuck misogyny. Yeah. Also, I will be making a video about misogyny and the statistics of how men are just have higher grounds, like, you know, how male pattern baldness is studied more than endometriosis. I will make that my next video will be statistics on that, but please know your rights, know what is going on in the world. Woke does not mean you're liberal. Woke just means you know what's going on in the world and know how to address it. Please follow your rights. If you need a refresher on your rights, go to this website. This is the National Immigrant Justice Center, or NIJC. It's called immigrantjustice.org. Please go to that if you need to know your rights if you encounter ICE. And please stay safe out there. Love ya. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.